So last night I was watching a video that I was drawn to, and so I went to the YouTube channel, and the precise video that I clicked on, because there's two of them about Mary Magdalene, the one that I clicked on had to do with basically these essences or these tinctures that were made out of these herbs and the initiations that Mary would do, and how she would use, the alabaster jar, a priestess of myrrh, and would rub the oils on her hands, but she didn't have to touch anyone's body with her hands. She would utilize the energies from her soul and her light body, and in combination with the frequencies of the oils, and that's what would heal the people that she was presented in front of. And it was crazy because I'm trying to fall asleep. Could not sleep last night because of the solar flash, I think, and probably had a lot to do with it. It's really odd because I kind of drifted off while I was watching this the first time. And then I woke back up again and I wanted to replay the parts that I missed. So I click on it. She's talking about magnolia, and I freak out because you guys know me. I have a magnolia tree in my backyard, and it's like this huge thing because it's connected to so much divine stuff and Mary Magdalene herself. And I've been getting these hints for a while now. So if you've been on my channel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, there's a weird thing on my wall here. First it was 2 rows of dots, and now it's showing a third. But yeah, just something to take note of. I'll have to, it's something to do with number. Things always show up as like light codes on my walls and things. So yeah, that's something. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So it's a huge thing because I always form a bond with a tree. I've been this way ever since I was little. In my parents' backyard, I had my favorite tree. And now what's really weird, you guys, it's still freaking me out. I had this tree that I would always gaze upon, and I formed a bond with this tree. And I know for a fact that they had cut it down. And I was so saddened by this, literally depressed that they cut it down. And I've recently shifted into some sort of crazy timeline, and that tree is still there. It's still there. The last time I go over my parents' house, I'm like, wait, didn't they cut that tree down? And they're like, no, they've never cut it down. I'm like, it was a huge deal. It was a huge deal. The time before that I had been to my parents, and I was on that older timeline, and that tree literally was cut down, and I was bummed out about it. Because the tree had been dying, they cut it down, and now it's it looks just like it did when I was a kid. It's young still, it's flourishing. It makes no sense. It's freaking me out. But anyways, I've had a bond with a tree. No matter where I've lived, no matter where I've gone, I've always bonded with a tree that's in the yard. And so this tree in our backyard is a magnolia tree. And so when she's talking about the magnolia essence, and my friend Janet had told me this, I think last year, pretty sure, that the magnolia had to do with Magdalene. And I was like, no way. She's like, yeah. I'm like, I had no idea. Was getting hints about that. I knew they dedicated the flowers to the sun goddesses Medusa and Senna, and there was a picture that was titled Magnolia Medusa and an article written about that. And then I tied it just intuitively off of Mag and Magnolia and Magdalene. So I just sort of intuitively knew that they were interlinked somehow. And so, yeah, so I don't know. It's crazy to me because we all have our own synchronicities and archetypal energies that we're naturally intuitively drawn to. And when we get synchronicities that link up like that and they just make so much sense, it's like, oh my God. So anyways, last night she's talking about the magnolia essences, and I'm like having this vision of where I'm in my backyard and it's nighttime and I'm being called to clip one of the seed pods, which look like a pine cone or a dragon's egg. And I'm being told to clip one of these off my magnolia tree and put it into a glass jar with olive oil. And I'm watching this video, and then she says, I had a vision that I was in my backyard and Mary Magdalene was there next to my magnolia tree. And I clipped a flower off the tree and put it in a bowl. And there was a spider on the magnolia flower, which a spider is the archetypal goddess symbolism.
It was a restless night for me. I couldn't sleep. And it was a full moon that night. And in my dark backyard, it was the only light that there was out. I felt restless, and in my mind's eye, as I was sleeping, I could see my backyard and her energy, like walking in the backyard, kind of waiting for me. So I just jumped out of bed. I don't know how I did that, but I did, and I created this essence. So on the night I created this essence, there was a spider on it, and the spider is symbolic of the messenger of the goddess. This was the message I received from Mary Magdalene that night. I could not sleep, and I heard her call me, and I saw her vision in my garden by the magnolia tree.
And I'm like thinking, okay. And like previously to that happening, like it was literally like prophetic, because I had this vision of me being in my backyard, and I kid you not, like 30 seconds later, she's talking about hers, how she had a vision of the same fucking thing that I just had a vision of. So I'm like, what is happening? What am I picking up on? What is this trying to tell me? And that's always the questions. Like I ask myself a bunch of questions to really try to intuitively get down to the nitty gritty of what the underlying message is or what it is that I need to know. And so that was magical. Chills. I had chills like literally radiating from the top of my head all the way down to my feet and then going all the way back up. And I'm like, huge chills. And I'm like, this is crazy. And then what else happened? Her vision of Mary standing by the tree reminded me of the vision that I had of Mary. But I wanted to share with you what I saw last night. So last night I'm going to close the side window and I see something moving in the breeze. And what I saw looked to me like a woman in a robe covering her head, like moving about. And I was thinking automatically it was my daughter, because my daughter has this pink blanket and she always puts it over her head and dances around with it. And it's like it wasn't clicking like what I was seeing. I was like, what am I seeing? But Kenzie was upstairs in bed. And I'm like, okay, it's not Kenzie. And I look closer, and here it's the neighbor's American flag blowing in the wind, but that was not what I saw. What I saw was a woman in a robe with her head covered, like kind of like moving around, like putting the robe on herself, and then like dancing around in a circle. And I'm like, holy shit. Did I just see a vision of Mary? Because literally that was the first thing I thought. And it just like, it just took me by surprise. And I haven't seen a vision like that in a while. I mean, obviously when I looked closer, it was the American flag. But like I said, when I was looking in the reflection of the window, that is not what I saw. I thought it was my daughter behind me playing with her blanket and moving around with it over her head, but that wasn't it. And my brain couldn't comprehend at the time what I was seeing. And I really think I saw a vision of Mary. And it was actually when I was talking to my friend Janet, or shortly after that happened, I told her about it. And I was standing by my table and I looked out my window and I saw her there, like standing. So it's like these energies coming through, and it's just interesting because I connected so many dots with that post, and I wrote it all out. And I think it'd be easier if I just like speak on it, which I can do. Because there's just so much to unpack here. Like, it's literally wild. It's wild. And they're drawing me to the star and the seashells. And I saw a Tartarian building yesterday that literally had seashells all over it and starfish all over it.
Y'all seen that before. Y'all already know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Come on. Take a look at that. These people ain't had nothing to do with building this.
Having to do with the sea. On the floor of the building, of this ancient Tartarian building, it had a compass.
And then, of course, look at this floor.
Okay, the rose compass, the compass rose, and like these engravings of the ancient Pacific Lemurian symbolisms.
I know it's already gonna look majestic. It's gorgeous. That's absolutely majestic.
And the swastika, which is actually an ancient Lemurian symbol. Even probably prior, even probably way more ancient than that, because we can only go back so far. And there's a lot of people that are specifically not saying that they're not right, but they are archaeologists, scientists, but they're not so much intuitive. A lot of them are, but a lot of them aren't. They're based off of evidence that is presented. It's not like I'm intuitively going with my gut here. You know what I mean? So saw that. There's just so much coming in that it's really hard for me, with being such a sensitive that I am, to keep this in a cohesive message, because it's very vast of a message. And those dots changed on my wall again. As you can see, the dots now changed. Some of them are missing on my wall. And so that's definitely interesting. So my ADD is like amped up today. And of course I had to go get coffee. So yeah. What else was I? Oh, yesterday I ran into a woman who literally had a Medusa t-shirt on. And it said Medusa at the bottom. And I was like, I love your shirt. She's like, thank you. I'm like, I'm obsessed. The magnolia flower is literally what they used to dedicate to the goddess Medusa and the goddess Sana. And then I'm thinking, okay, the origination of where, finding the trail of what Mary Magdalene was trying to show me, it originated with the start of the Magnolia building and the Pegasus Plaza, and having been presented that and like doing research on that. And that's on an old Tartarian building. It's got the same lettering as the other buildings. And the one building that like really connects it all in for me is this Tartarian building that says, guys, I'm literally crying because I just connected something huge. It's amazing. So, wisdom hath builded her house. She hath hewn out her 7 pillars. It connects to Sophia. In Proverbs 9:1, 8. Remember how I kept seeing 911 and the number 8 and I couldn't understand? This presented to me months ago and I'm just connecting it now.
I'm staying here. Oh. I was staying here last night.
Fantastic. I hope you had a comfortable stay.
Yeah, no, it was lovely. But I've misplaced my key.
Okay. What room is it?
It's 234.
All day and all night, yeah, you got me singing like, ooh, I love it when you do.
I'm having downloads. I'm not even fucking kidding you. Okay, so I was looking for that post with the building, right? I was looking for that. And again, I saw the Triton. So I'm thinking, I'm just sitting here thinking like, Triton, okay, so you've seen that symbol, I've been seeing that symbol, everyone's been seeing that symbol. Why are we seeing that? Then it made me think, okay, Triton and Tartaria, Tartar, what is tartar? Tartar, like tartar sauce, okay, fish, again, okay, so my mind's going like, okay, I'm receiving downloads. Tartaria, tartar, fish, myrrh, it's all fucking connected. I am telling you, it's all fucking connected. One of these banks, Bank of Water, that links to Mary Magdalene. It's her original bank. She was really wealthy. Think of, okay, water priestess. She was talking about the water and how it correlates with the monetary system, currency, the current of water, banks of water, all of it. It's all tied in. It all connects. I know it does. I just know it. I just know it does. who hath built her house, which is from Proverbs 9:11, and it's in reference to Sophia. Sophia, the divine feminine energy, dragons, because she rode a dragon. Okay, and 9/11 is a very significant number because 9/11 is 119 backwards, which is Mary Magdalene's name in simple gematria, which is my birth time, 119. And 9/11, we all know about that. The Twin Towers, literally Mary Magdalene's name, Migdal, derives from Mary Magdalene's name, which means tower. Has to do with alchemy, twin flames, twin towers, two pillars. Jacques and Boaz, you know, if you look into like Masonic stuff and occult, which the Masonic stuff definitely ties into this, like the Rosicrucians. I feel like a lot of this stuff has been skewed, and there's a lot that is tied into here, and I don't want to make this too long because I don't want to bore you guys, but I just want to show that how I'm connecting the dots here. And so Athena is atop this Magnolia building in Pegasus Plaza. And if you look at like the other posts that I've posted about the mermaids and things, and King Arthur and Excalibur and the sword and the stone, and how everyone's been having different references to Pegasus and mermaids and King Arthur and Excalibur and all this stuff. It's just really interesting. But anyways, that post having to do with sound resonance referred to the 9 muses, which are in Pegasus Plaza. It referred to Pegasus and his heel striking a spring and the water pouring out, and people would drink from this spring of water and receive downloads and musical inspiration, poetic inspiration, just imagination inspiration in and of itself. And in that same drawing are the mermaids in a circle. And then my friend John Binney had, and one's blowing the horn. My friend John Binney had a dream and shared that with me about how he was playing his guitar and the mermaids would appear, then reappear. Oh my God. Okay, so now that looks like the swastika almost to me, how that's appearing there. This is all happening while I'm talking to you guys. It's changing and morphing. And they say, because those dots look like the swastika pattern, that the swastika was actually used as like a compass. And I just talked about the compass. There's a lot here. I'm so sorry. But so that Magnolia building has Athena, a statue of Athena on it. And so I'm like, okay, well, Athena and Medusa, we all know how that mythology went. Athena basically got jealous of Medusa, and there was like all this sexual degradation that happened. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm just going to use it. That happened, and basically Athena cursed Medusa, and then Medusa had these snakes coming from her head, and she could turn any man to stone. It's like this Medusa technology, okay? But the snakes coming out of her head represent a lot of things. Dude, look at that. That looks just like... It's changing as I'm talking to you guys. It's just crazy. I have chills. So, where was I? Did you guys hear that? I just heard whistling. There's a lot of paranormal stuff happening too, by the way. Like, I don't think you guys realize how much has been happening. And it's like, it's hard because a lot of the things I either forget about, or I don't talk about, or I don't have a chance to film. So we're just kind of trying to get it all into a cohesive message here. But there's Athena atop the Magnolia building. And I got the message last night after connecting these dots, just like intuitively, that so it says that Magnolia is the Magdalene. And that, sorry, those dots keep changing and shifting on my wall. It's freaking crazy. Hold on. I feel like this is gonna mean something. It's changing and morphing. Look at that. So it's like this, and then a dot. I bet that's a symbol or a ruin or something. I'll figure it out. I'm really good with like language translation, also intuitive. Okay. Spirit's coming through strong. So I've had paranormal activity in my house, and it's 1022 right now. 122 is a significant number. But so I went to plug my charger in over here, and I bend down to plug it in, and I felt someone poke my butt. Like literally like right above my butt, like right there, like finger, like a real finger poke. And I'm like, what the hell? Because it was just me and my daughter home, and my daughter's in the bathroom. So I knew it wasn't her. And I'm like, someone just poked my butt. Like, what the fuck? And so, yeah, that was 10:23. Just now on my clock. Look. 10:23. That's the resurrection number. So I'm basically trying to show you how I piece these synchronicities together so you guys can do this for yourself. I also offer this if you wanted to work through me. It's called Kimberkiss, and it's where I can literally take in all your synchronicities and connect them all for you. I can show you different alternative meanings to what each one would mean. I'm basically like a guide or an assistance to you to help you recognize and be able to connect your own synchronicities and help you to better, light codes, help you better to understand your own. And so, yeah, check that out. It's on my Etsy. The link is in the bio under my link tree. I love doing this for you guys. They've been amazing so far. It's really helped to bring a lot of clarity for a lot of people, and not in a way to guide you off your own path, in a way to help you figure out what it means for you. Okay, so that's the main thing. That's what's important, because I could tell you different things that they mean all day long, and maybe some of them will resonate, but the goal is to help you have those aha moments to what they mean for you. And it's really helpful and beneficial, especially when you're on your path and you're maybe just coming into angel numbers or trying to understand what different things mean for you. Anyways, so Athena's above this magnolia building, and I got the message that the magnolia is the Magdalene, because that's literally what's stated in the video. So that made sense. And then I got the message that Athena and Medusa are both the light and the dark attributes of Mary Magdalene. Okay, so just like 11 in Stranger Things, L is Alice Island, Alice in Wonderland, all is. It's all connected. Every archetype has, and every person has, a light side and a dark side on this plane of the human understanding of duality. And when you're able to take such extreme polaric energies, ideas, perspectives, and combine them into one solidified form, that is alchemy, and that is neutrality. You're able to take two essences or two extremes of duality and merge them into one. And through that neutrality formation of the perspective of that, with your third eye, take the two eyes, merge them into one. That is your gold. That is your gold, because that helps you to see things in such a higher perspective sort of way, almost like a God perspective, almost. And through that formation of understanding how things work in tandem with one another, through one combination of the two, the black and white into the two. That's why the Masons have the black and white checkered floor. The Jacques and Boaz with the third eye at the top. Through taking these essences of duality and forming them into neutrality, you basically form a portal that you can then walk through to a higher perspective or a higher timeline shift or a higher understanding, or even a portal that you can walk through. It's going to be different for everyone because we're all completely different, though we're very much similar, but that's what I was getting. And so we have these essences all tied to the start of it all, the Magnolia building, which was Tartarian. And I do feel that Mary Magdalene was a mermaid. But not only that, if she's able to form into light and dark aspects of herself, then she is ultimately able to form into anything. And if you look into these, I really feel like her energy and her essence, oh my God, they're changing. Now it's just that. Hear the birds. There's so much interruptions here. I'm sorry, guys, but like as I'm speaking and as these things are shifting in real time right in front of me, I'm like, holy cow. She's able to basically change and merge in anything. And I feel like her energy and her essence, just as our energies and soul's essence, is immortal. It's going to continue on. And it can shift and change into different things. The likeness of our soul, the likeness of our light body, and the perspectives that we have of it, as well as God has of it, as well as the universe has of it, as well as other people have of it. And so it's all a beautiful, unified thing. You know, we like to separate things to better understand things while we're here, but the more you can look at it as an all perspective or a multidimensional perspective, which is including everything, the better off. I think it's beneficial. Some people could be more confused by that, but in a sense, that's just a limiting belief. I feel like, oh boy. Now it's just those. I feel like it's important to be able to see the overall, to zoom out and see the overall, as important as it is to zoom in. And that's kind of like where the paradox lies, right? But through neutrality, you can combine all these things. And that's the magic of it. It literally is alchemy. But for everyone, it's different. It's their own divine ways of viewing things and their own divine ways of alchemization, if that's a word. So, like I was saying, just like how Elle in Stranger Things has a light side to her, but also a dark side to her. She has a light portal that she's offering assistance to people while she's here on the planet and helping her friends out. She also has this dark portal that the government is investigating, where she is allowing, you know, darker energies to come in through that portal. But she is the only one that can alchemize those, right? She is the only one that can transmute those energies. And so it's very likewise to all humans, because we all have a light side, we all have a dark side, and we are the ones that can alchemize and transmute those energies through our energy, right? And while people can assist us, definitely, it's up to us to do it for ourselves. Okay. So these are the messages that I'm getting. And if I feel the need to write more down, I will. But what's interesting too is she received, in the video, she received the vision. She received the vision on the Ascension evening of 7/21, which is the night before 7/22, which is Mary Magdalene's feast day. And 7/21, July 21st, is actually my mother's birthday. So it is very interesting. And yeah, there's a whole lot of numerology involved. And I feel like when you start getting into this stuff and digging in, it's like when you follow Rosicrucian stuff, they were all about their ciphers, the Pythagorean cipher, the Bacon cipher, this cipher, that cipher, the Pardee cipher, the Shakespeare cipher, the Francis Bacon cipher. And they had symbols such as Tubal Cain, which is 2 O's and a 7, which John Dee's number is 007. They had, if you didn't know that, or you didn't have the understanding of what the meanings are behind the numbers, you don't have any idea of what they represent or mean. And so it's kind of like this secret knowledge and a way of keeping it hidden in plain sight, as one could say. But also the ancient alchemists did this as well with their symbols and their ancient texts of how to create the Philosopher's Stone, or how to do basic alchemy even. Some more complicated, such as the Philosopher's Stone, or that's like more popularized or harder to achieve, would be even more secretly encoded. And it takes one to understand the meaning behind the symbols, and each alchemist had their own codex or cipher per se. And so if you don't have the keen knowing of what some of these symbols mean or what they could represent, then you don't have the key to be able to decipher them. And so I think it's really important. Yeah, so that's basically everything that I wanted to go over. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this, what you received as well. I love reading your comments because I feel like all of you are receiving divine codes as well and divine messages. Please let me know what you're receiving. I love hearing what you guys have to say. And you might know some more things than I do on certain topics as well. So definitely leave them in the comments below. If you were looking to learn more about your synchronicities with me, definitely check out the Kimberkiss. It'll be under the link in the description box below. I love you all so much. Definitely subscribe. Hit that bell so you don't miss any more videos coming up. I have a lot more coming up. Twin Flame, Starseed, all kinds of stuff. So stay tuned because there's a lot coming. I love you all so much. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.